talk about your airplane. Tell them what you did to it. You got a new
Hi
landing
there,
gear?
this is an Avidflyer Mark IV kit airplane. Been through lots of modifications in the last 20 years. We're gonna try to get her flying within the next few months here. We've got TK1 landing gear front and rear. It's got a warp drive propeller. Got a new windshield on it. And it's a Continental 0200 100 horsepower engine. And it's got Goodyear tires, 26-inch. Behringer brake system, master cylinders included, discs and wheels. Oh boy, it's got a lot of stuff. New windshield, I did say that. Tail wheel system, you see the tail wheel system, Sean?
Yep.
That's just a new thing coming out.
Who makes all this stuff?
I make the most of the stuff.
Yeah, you make most of this stuff?
Well, besides the landing gear and brakes and things, I had to purchase all that stuff. But I built the total cowling, extended the fuselage 18 inches. What the hell's
So you extended the fuselage 18 inches. How many of those aircraft have you extended before?
Oh, one or two other ones.
One or two other Avid,
Yeah,
so you
one
extended?
of them's flown before. This one has flown before too.
Yeah.
And
This is the first one with TK Racing.
this is the only one I know of with TK1 Racing landing gear on it, but there's probably some more. This is the first time I've heard of it and seen it. But yeah, it's quite a long project.
So it's going to be exciting to see this Avid flying with a 0200,
Yes, sir.
100 horsepower with a warp drive propeller. It sounds awesome when it is running, and it's got a real beautiful tail wheel there. 26-inch tires. Nice looking interior. We're gonna be putting the wings on it here this next week, or the next couple days. We've had this airplane put together a few years ago and had an unfortunate event. Ground looping.
Bumped the wingtip, so we decided to redo things.
Rebuilt the wingtips, and we just figured, you know, time to upgrade and do some work on it. And we didn't like the landing gear that came from it, a Grove landing gear. We wanted to do some upgrades and started seeing Trent Palmer with his landing gear and fell in love with that, and decided, you know what, that's the gear we want on our Avid. So since kit boxes and Avids aren't that much different, we're gonna go with that. One thing that we would like to do eventually is put a bigger vertical stabilizer on this airplane, so it's gonna be a skin off the tail end here, and
Maybe we'll do vortex generators and gap seals and stuff once we get it flying to see what results work better for it.
see what we could get more tail authority on this
It's got a
airplane.
10-inch tail wheel.
Beautiful yellow. What made you want to go with this yellow? What kind of fabric covering is this?
This is yellow because I figured you could see it real well.
Yeah.
Real visibility. It is polyfiber with the aerothane finish on it, which makes it a glossier, shinier, but harder to paint system. I would have probably should have just went with polytone because I had some experience with that and it was pretty shiny after you were done with that.
And what did you put on your Goodyear tires to make the lettering stand out like that?
Oh, lettering paint made for tires that people use on cars and motorcycles. It dresses it up a little bit.
It looks really neat. So you made your own exhaust for your airplane?
Yeah, I made my own exhaust systems out of inexpensive tubing for a mock-up, but I've come to liken Vetterman's exhaust nowadays, where they claim you get more horsepower, but I'm not so certain I can make it fit underneath the cowling. If I would get that, I got to check on that kind of system.
So if you were going to do that, you'd have to remake your cowling, and that means
Probably from the boot forward anyhow.
that means another big project.
Yeah. And if it needs pistons and rings or anything like that, I would like to upgrade to a more horsepower systems. But we'll see.
So back in the day when you were looking at Avid, what made you get in with Avid versus anybody
I
else?
just thought they were the forerunners of the type of an airplane, and there was very few people had kit boxes around here, so I figured an Avid might be the way to go. But then Avid went out of business in about 2000 or so. Somewhere in there, they're in and out of businesses. You don't hear of them too often.
When was it that you got your kit?
1997.
And when was it that you completed it, or your airplane got its airworthiness certificate?
2008 or 9, somewhere in there. And then it flew it for 80 hours till I had a wingtip problem and decided to hang it in the hangar for a while. And now the last few years I've been tinkering with it.
If you had a recommendation for somebody that was getting into aviation, what would you say to them? Would you say build your own airplane and learn to fly that way?
Yeah, probably. Get a small, light airplane, like maybe even a Cessna, and learn with that.
Find a group, find people that are
Get
passionate
involved in a
about
club or
airplanes.
something, and do that.